This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. And let me tell you, hey, you know what? For American hockey viewers, well, live hockey returned to their television sets at a competitive level. A lot of NHL fans are interested in watching. I don't know who's repping the Notre Dame team, but, well, for Oilers and Habs fans, yeah, there were a couple first round picks in action that were pretty notable to be watching. And I don't know who scored the first goal for the Wisconsin Badgers tonight, but let me tell you, I do know who scored the second goal, and it was an important, beautiful power play goal from our very own Dylan Holloway. And how weird does that sound? How weird does it sound to hear our very own Dylan Holloway? The Oilers' very own Dylan Holloway. Alberta's very own Dylan Holloway. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely fantastic. And of course, this is the start of the season for those guys. And well, yeah, Cole Caulfield, I didn't see him get any big headlines in Oilers land today saying, oh my goodness, look at that guy over our guy. No, Dylan Holloway absolutely stealing the headlines. And here's the big key for us as Oilers fans. If you were paying attention to any of the speculation and stuff on Twitter, all the hype on Twitter, whatever, or if you're down in the States, as I know some people on Dolany TV were watching the game live on television tonight, is the fact that, you know what, Dylan Holloway was playing center tonight. Last year he was playing on the wing quite a bit, while this year playing center, and every highlight you can scope out on Twitter, and dang do I, oh man, somebody commented last night that I need to show highlights. I wish I could show highlights because this would be the game to show you highlights. Most of us haven't really seen what Dylan Holloway is fully capable of, especially, well, in a long while now, probably not since February, March. No, man, he looked good. Go to Twitter, do yourself a favor, find every clip you can of Dylan Holloway on the ice. It is fantastic to see how dominant he was on the ice against Notre Dame. So that was a solid game. Solid game out of Dylan Holloway, and one of those that, you know what, we're sitting here. It's been a boring, well, week of Oilers news, right? Nothing major. Dominic Cahoon's in action. You've got Dylan Holloway now in action. You got the prospects over in Europe doing their thing, but I'm sorry, we can't sit here and just every time Raphael Lavoie scores a goal, we can't sit here and do a 10-minute video on Raphael Lavoie scoring another goal, or Evan Bouchard for that matter, or whoever. We can't get going on that every single time because it gets repetitive very quickly. So here we find ourselves, another name to get out there and keep paying attention to. Right now, all of a sudden, now we're scouring across the United States for our prospects as well. And Dylan Holloway, a guy that looks very good entering that game and finishing it off strong, because if you go to the third period, I believe it is, he had just a beautiful attack on net, lost the handle on the puck, but beat the defense and really got going as it was a 2-0 final, and a fantastic effort out of Dylan Holloway. And actually, pardon me, yes, I was reminded of this, and I totally forgot it entering the video, is this game was on TSN. Now, unfortunately, I do not have TSN Go to watch TSN. I only have the Sportsnet app, so that doesn't really get me very far. But for those of you that may have watched Dylan Holloway tonight on TSN, I would like to now open up the floor 4 minutes late to get your take on Dylan Holloway and how he looked. So not only was it our American friends, but also us here in Canada who got a taste of Dylan Holloway tonight. Man, I just can't catch a break. Everything good is on TSN lately. Dang. All right. Anyway, that sucks, but we'll move on and we'll focus in on Dylan Holloway a little bit more here as the reaction pouring in. Dylan Holloway, probably the best player on the ice. I was also impressed with Jack Korniak, says this Thomas Glant guy on Twitter. Well, that's not Cole Caulfield. So Dylan Holloway had a 1-goal, 3-shot-on-goal performance and was 10 for 14 in the face-off dot with a blocked shot. That, my friends, is a heck of a night. The 3 stars for the Wisconsin Badgers, Dylan Holloway in there as star number 3, so that is a lot to get going here. And yeah, so there is a lot looking, and actually, let me get to it, because let me just go and talk about the goal. The goal he scored, the second goal, I meant to do that earlier. The second goal he scored was so perfect. He walked in from the point, slid into the quiet area in the top part of the slot, and then you know that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins just perfect released shot that goes back of the net on the power play. That was it. That's what we're looking at for that second goal. I don't see, that's the beauty here. When I was talking about showing replays, I don't need to show you a replay of how Dylan Holloway scored tonight. I just need to describe it to you exactly the way I just did, and you can see it perfectly in your head, right? There's a little bit of traffic in front of the net. You just have that perfect wrist shot, that perfect release, that got into the quiet area, ripped it home on the pass, and away it went. Yeah, you can see it no problem. Just think what Ryan Nugent-Hopkins does about 15 times a year. Dylan Holloway did that tonight, and that is huge for us because you look at that, right? Obviously, you wonder where this kid's going to fit into the lineup in the future, and suddenly, yeah, there's a potential there if Nugent-Hopkins is on the wing, Draisaitl there, third line centerman Dylan Holloway. Ooh, yeah. Can never have too many guys that have a good, perfectly timed release and wrist shot on the lineup, especially down the middle, whether it be Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and now looking like Dylan Holloway, a guy who can find himself some space, open up the open areas on the power play and rip home a shot. Yeah, you know what? You know how you score on a power play? Just going to give you guys some hockey 101. Be a little bit sarcastic here with you. Be a little rude about it. You know how you score on the power play? Shoot the puck. Okay, it's very simple. On the power play, if you shoot the puck, you have an infinite time more chance of scoring goals than if you don't shoot the puck. Hockey 101 with Tyson Dolany of Dolany TV. Dang, man. Like, oh my goodness. You come here for the critical analysis, and I give you that. Oof, mint. Good night. Good to go. That is huge. So, right? Simple. But again, you can never have enough of guys who can do what Dylan Holloway did in tonight's action against Notre Dame. Huge goal, huge performance. Down the middle, 10 for 14 in the face-off dot. How can you not like that? A block shot, you like to see that as well. And of course, a huge goal in a 2-0 win for the Wisconsin Badgers over top of Notre Dame. And it looked good for Mr. Dylan Holloway. A huge effort. One more Twitter reaction here. Cole Hurlbert comes in and says Dylan Holloway is a machine. The Oilers should be very, very excited. I think that's what I'm trying to convince here. And Scott Wheeler, who is a national reporter covering the NHL draft and prospects for The Athletic, well, here's what he said on Dylan Holloway about 58 minutes ago. If Dylan looks like this for the rest of the college season and the college hockey season can survive, watch out. Looks like a force tonight. Was consistently more impressive on wing last season, so it's nice to see him imposing himself at center in game 1 of the season. So, yeah, it was looking all right, and you know what? It's going to be perfectly just fine. And now all of a sudden, the Oilers fans getting on Twitter and being a little ridiculous. My friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolany TV. Positive development tonight. Did you catch the game on TSN? Did you catch it on NBCSN? Hey, American friends, did you? I'm Tyson, Dolany TV. Up on out of here.